Hi, little birds. I wanted to make a different video. No, not dad jokes this time. Um, I wanted to talk about, some of my interests. And, you know, I have many hobbies. Not all of them that I do currently or even pretend to do anymore. Like, one, for instance, that I used to do as a kid, I liked doing leather work or um, looming with the looms, and I made like hot pads and stuff. I enjoyed I enjoyed crafts as a kid. Loved it. Um, what else have I done? I did a little woodworking. I did basket weaving, some other things, and coloring, drawing. I loved coloring and drawing. Loved it. But I kind of fell away from it, so I'm not very good right now. Um, then there's always been one that I've always kept. Some of you might say, that's not a hobby. Well, okay, let me talk about some of the hobbies I am very interested in right now. Okay, I am a nerd, okay? I don't hide that. I am a nerd at heart. I love sci-fi. I love comic book movies or comic books, and I would love to do cosplay. I would love to do that and make some foam armor and all that good stuff and just really nerd out. Yes, I've been to Comic Cons. I've been to a couple. I love them. The atmosphere is so fun and enjoyable. It's just a lot of fun. But the one hobby I've always had since I was little is keeping a fish tank. And my first fish tank was, my first fish tank, we were in Utah, and my dad had this fish tank that he had made the stand for, and it was like a stand covering up the fish tank and had these little cubby holes all around it so you could put all your equipment in. I think it was like a 30-gallon or 40-gallon, and he just got bored of it. Well, no, he didn't get bored of it. He had his own fish tank. He went and got a hexagon fish tank at the time. And wait, let me think. It may have been before. No, that was about Utah. And I was 8 years old at the time. So I was super young, and he's like, here you go, this is your fish tank. So at 8 years old, I had my first fish tank. I cared for that thing, and lo and behold, in '92 we needed to move with the Air Force, and Dad was like, well, we're going to sell this fish tank. So we sold it, and when we got to Mississippi, they got me a 20-gallon, and I had the 20-gallon for a really long time. We even took it to Turkey with me, and I had quite a few fish in it. And when I say it's a hobby, it is a hobby. You can make various fish tanks. You can have a reef tank, you can have freshwater, you can have freshwater planted, or you can theme it, like if you want all South American fish, or maybe you want all African fish, whatever the theme may be, or maybe you just want a fun theme with your fish tank, like you want a SpongeBob or, something fun. So it is very much a hobby. Myself, I like to experiment and see the fish that I can breed. The first fish that I didn't even mean to when I was, oh gosh, I was 14 at the time, and I had a pair of Grammies that were in my 20-gallon. And I knew a little bit about the Grammys and, about them, but, I really didn't know about them. And all of a sudden I saw this bunch of bubbles at the top of the tank, and I'm like, what the heck is that? So, I had to look it up in a book because at the time we didn't have Google, we didn't have Yahoo. Well, we did, but barely. And so I looked it up in this book. They were building a bubble nest, and I was like, how cool! They're making a nest with their eggs. And so I got probably about 10 little Grammies from this. It was such an awesome experience, and it just gave me that itch, that bug. So, I naturally went to like live bears. I tried mollies, platies, guppies, swordtails, and I had a lot of success breeding them. Because obviously those ones breed very easily. They make lots of babies, and they're easy. They take most kinds of water and aren't picky on things. And then, you know, I got into cichlids. One of the cichlids I always wanted, but only tried once, was the jewel cichlids. They're a little red one, and they're just, I don't know, they get about this big, and they're cute. I've had them once, and I fell in love with the various cichlids. I'm not much of an African cichlid person. I don't like those ones as much because of how they tend to be. You can't keep them in a community tank. Same with like Oscars. If you put Oscars with community fish, they're gonna eat most of them. Now, the ones that I fell in love with that I've had a lot lately is angelfish. And, I had them after I got married, and had them for the longest. I only got one breeding pair at that time, and I didn't get any eggs, but it gave me that knack to breed angelfish. Because in between it, they were they weren't breeding, but I did have cory cats that, oh my gosh, I must have had 20 cory cats in this tank because they kept breeding. Every time I would change the water, they'd breed. And I was like, oh, you fish are crazy. So it was about every month I'm going to the fish store with more cory cats, and they're like, oh, you got more? I'm like, yeah, I got more. They just keep breeding. What can I do with them? So, but I've always loved the angelfish and their elegance and their beauty. And, before I left Mississippi, I got researching different variants. I don't like the long-finned ones because a lot of times their fins get all nicked up and mangled, and you just never keep the long-finned ones looking nice, I found. Now, some people might, but I can't. I've never had success with any long-finned fish, and so I try to keep the short-finned ones. And I know a lot of people are like, well, you have to breed for size and shape and not really color. Well, I like the colors. The colors are my thing. I like the different colors of the angels. So right now in my fish tank, I have like 5 different colors that I just love each and every one of them because they have unique colors, and they're cool. And it's kind of funny because I have right now 2 pairs, and the 2 are 2 goldens and 2 black ones. I don't know why they chose, to pair up with their colors, but they did. Whatever. And So the first pair was my Goldens, and they laid their eggs on this plastic plant. And I'm like, oh, cool, how cool. Maybe they'll have babies. Lo and behold, they ate them after like a day. They were like, nope. So it was like 2 weeks later, they laid some more. Like, okay, cool. Maybe they'll have some. In between I was Googling, and they're like, most people are like, well, you're not going to get any babies out of the tank because they're a community tank and they feel threatened. And I'm like, ugh. So in between I was looking for a tank, and I found another tank. So I set up a tank, and third spawn, I'm like, okay, I'll just move the eggs into this tank and I'll try to raise the eggs. Well, that was an epic fail. They completely got rot, and I'm like, oh. So I'm thinking, and I'm like, okay, let me try it with the parents. So I try that, and again, they got rot. The parents ate them. I'm like, oh, this is so difficult. Why is it so difficult? So, I keep doing my research, and they do have medicine for that, methylene blue, and I decided, okay, you know what? I want to do it. I want to have angelfish babies. So I put this medicine in there. They spawned, and, they didn't eat them. They seem to be really good parents, and, they kept with them. They were getting out their white eggs, taking care of them, and sure enough, I get little wigglers, and I'm like, I got a little angelfish. So they're wiggling on this leaf, and I'm like, this is so cool. So, 3 days later, they're little swimmers. It was so cute. So yes, aquariums are my hobby. I love them. They're quiet. They soothe. They're just so much fun. Yes, you can't pet a fish. Yes, you can't pick up your fish. Yes, the companionship is kind of one-sided because you go to the tank and they're like, baby! And it's like, really? Am I just your feeding thing? You can't love me a little more? Show me some affection? But that is my hobby. That is what I'm interested in. And again, if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the little notification bell so you can get all my notifications and when I release videos and updates and all the good stuff. And then please leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to see, what you want to hear. And give me a thumbs up, because that's what we do on YouTube. Alright guys, bye!